Hello and welcome to Corks and Cauldron. We're two friends, uncork a bottle, cast a few spells, and dive deep into fantasy books and theories. I'm Gabby.
And I'm Jen. Quick disclaimer, this is an adult podcast about adult books, so expect some spicy language, spicy content, and spicy spoilers.
Now, let's grab a drink, grab a snack, and get started. Today we are recapping Glow's chapters 19 through 27 from the Plated Prisoner series. I think this puts us right around 40% through this book,
I think
give
so.
or take. Yeah. So, Jen, what did you make for us today?
All right, to celebrate the return of the Queen at Melina chapters,
Yes, I'm so excited.
I thought we might eat like her, so I picked some 3-ingredient, no-bake oatmeal bars.
Yeah, because she is not in her queenly status in
She is not.
this set.
Nope.
So,
And these are really easy to make. Every once in a while, I go on this super healthy kick where I don't want to buy any
like
outside
preservative or
snacks.
like, yeah.
And so when Healthy Jen is in charge, we make these. You take a cup of peanut butter, anywhere from a half a cup to a cup of honey, depending on how sweet you like it.
Mhm.
And then 2.5 to 3 cups of oats. I use old fashioned oats. They call them rolled oats, or you can use quick oats too. It's just that it's a different texture.
Is it because you're old?
Literally the only difference, guys. No, I just like the texture better than the quick oats because the quick oats are kind of flat and yeah, I just don't like them.
But
Anyway,
they cook quicker, which is why they're
they do.
quick oats.
Yes. Yes, that is true. And all you do is in a little saucepan, you melt the peanut butter and the honey together. And once they're melted, you pour them on top of the oats. Hopefully, you have the oats in a large bowl when you do that. I'm sorry.
Skip that.
Yeah. And then you mix it all together. And once it's all mixed and blended, you just put it in an 8x8 pan and let it chill. I have taken, instead of using oats, I have also used Honey Nut Cheerios for this. And it's a really good snack. I've also added things to it like dried fruit if I want to, or
Oh,
chocolate chips.
that makes sense.
So Pampered Chef sells these little granola bar molds.
Sure.
They're silicone. I will sometimes make this and put it in there so that I'm pretending like I have actual granola bars instead of cutting it into like little squares. So, it just depends on your mood.
On the mood. Yep.
But it really is easy. And again, no bake. And it's summer
Yeah, so
in
not
the
turning on
Midwest.
the oven is.
So is a perk, which is
Yep.
why we're not doing anything. Baking is my preference right now.
We are not getting baked on this podcast right now.
Anyway, to go with my kind of sweet treat, what are we drinking today?
We are drinking Ancient Roots, which is a California red blend. According to the website, it is smooth but earthy, like it clawed its way out of the past to just sit in your glass and whisper, "You are not ready for this emotional spiral." And that is why I picked it for this episode, because we dive deep into Queen M's past. We have a Slade past chapter, and we have an Orin past chapter. Nightmare recap. But yeah, so we are digging through some trauma roots in this chapter set.
Yay!
Yay! So yeah, Ancient Roots felt a little bit on the nose, but we're doing it anyway. Tastes like grapes.
I would be concerned if it tasted like something other than grapes.
Alaska, so we do a lot of fruit wine. So like cherries or apples would not be out of the norm.
True.
Yeah. So anyway, let's dive into the trauma, I guess.
Chapter 19 is where we're starting.
Yes. And
And
we're starting with
our first
yes, our
Rissa
very
chapter.
first Rissa chapter.
Yes. So this chapter starts off kind of sucky for Rissa.
Rissa is taking care of a detoxing Polly.
For weeks now, she has been taking care of a detoxing Polly.
Yes. So Polly has been off. She had to go cold turkey off the do. And I have never been addicted to drugs like that, but I don't feel like it should take weeks.
I didn't think so either. You would think she would be feeling somewhat better.
Right.
At
Because
this point.
at this point, she still has like the fevers, the chills. Her moods are up and down. She's picking at her skin, at her lips. Like,
I kind of didn't realize that the detox time is usually only okay. I think it's skewed for me because of movies.
I actually worked at a drug and alcohol rehab
Oh,
for a
good.
hot minute. And I want to say, like, the first 3 to 4 days was the worst. right? And that's when like your body is actually detoxing all of the gross stuff that goes on. It's detoxing all of the toxins and whatever that happened while you were partaking. But then after that, it's just learning to curb the desires. And for some
Okay.
people, that's a lifelong challenge. So yeah, are you Googling?
Maybe.
Go for it.
I'm doing opiate detox timeline.
But we didn't think that dew was an opiate. We thought it was shrooms.
I know, but I'm pretty sure my little FBI person is going to be concerned about anything that I look up like this.
You should put in
Um,
parentheses research for podcast or something so
yeah,
they know.
it says most withdrawal symptoms typically resolve within 4 to 10 days.
So if they've been at it for weeks, maybe she's at the tail end of it then.
Long-acting opioids may lead to prolonged withdrawal experience lasting several weeks.
Okay. So maybe dew is an opiate
We're looking up shroom now because,
because we're curious.
yep,
And I don't know, shrooms they're natural, so I feel like there shouldn't be as much of a detoxing effect.
the effects are similar to LSD, which is a hallucinogen.
Hmm.
It's also 4 to 7 days.
Okay, so then dew has got to be more of the opioid family
Yeah,
if she's going on weeks now and still having this strong of a withdrawal. But Polly is being an absolute bitch to
she
Rissa.
is. She really is. She's so mad at her. She's tried multiple times to go back.
Hmm. To run away
Thankfully,
from the camp.
she's too
Yeah.
sick to actually get anywhere.
She's never happy. She's constantly yelling at her, at Rissa.
And what's bad is Rissa thought they were such good friends because, she talks about how they both signed their contracts to be saddles at the same time and decided to work together because they were both blonde. And that's why they were picked.
Well,
They were
and they
both pretty
they
blondes.
played off of each other's strengths and they
Yes.
learned how and like they gossiped together and they just became really good friends.
Yes.
And it'd be no different than like you and a friend signing up for the army at the same time, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, like it's just okay, we're in this together. Let's make the best of it. But obviously, drugs ruin everything, so don't do drugs, kids.
Agreed. And we also get a lot of backstory on Rissa in this
Mhm.
chapter where she tells us that she chose to become
A sex worker. Yep.
a saddle, and her decision to leave was cemented by
Insane.
Captain Fane, the Red Raid captain that
Assaulted her
Orin gilded because, he was going to assault both of them, and she didn't have a choice. She had to let Rissa be assaulted
until the sun came up.
until the sun came up. And I know Orin has feelings about that.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, but this chapter is really eye-opening for the Rissa and the Polly dynamic.
yeah.
And this is also where we get some more of your favorite character
Yeah.
and how he feels about everything.
Oh, yeah?
Well, your second favorite character.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I do love Osric. He's pretty.
Yes.
He's not your typical book boyfriend.
No, he is a side character for sure.
He's a side character, but I think he has book boyfriend energy.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I think he's loyal to a fault.
Yep.
I think he does not easily trust anyone he does not know.
Uh-huh.
And I think that he is a completely underrated character.
Uh-huh.
Up until this book. I think this book is kind of a turning point for us as readers to really learn more about him.
Yes.
Not so much in this set of chapters, but definitely later on
No.
in the book, we get a lot more from him.
He and Rissa have a conversation in this chapter that I really liked. So while Rissa's been taking care of Polly, Osric has been kind of gently taking care of both of them. He makes sure that the mender goes in and checks on Polly to
Make sure
help
that they have
with
enough coal and
Yeah.
food.
He shovels their front of their tent.
Well, and he packs it with ice to insulate it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's doing and he keeps his tent close to them, in case
something happens.
Marissa changes her mind and decides she does want to have sex with him, or also in case they need something. Probably the latter more than the
his love language
former.
is definitely acts of
Acts of
service.
service.
Yeah. Yep. And he definitely respects boundaries. Like Rissa has been very firm about boundaries and he has respected it. But things do get mildly spicy.
They do. I love that she insists though from the earlier Osric chapter even into this one. You know, if I was in a bar, you would be the last man I'd ever choose.
And she talks about, like, how hairy and furry he is, and
Yes.
just, like, his beard is so long that I could braid it.
Yeah.
Like, she is just Osric is not the type of man that she would normally go for, and that's not a bad thing.
No, she even talks about how the male saddles would wax themselves if
Mhm.
they were this hairy. And I was like, I like her background talking about
Yes.
how when she was with men before they had her body, but they don't get anything else.
Mhm. Yeah, she really has that firm boundary that, okay,
Yep.
I've never been a sex worker, so I'm completely
Okay.
flying blind, but I feel like you need to have those boundaries in that industry for sure.
I think so.
Yeah,
Because once emotions get involved, you're not going to be a very good saddle.
it gets messy. Yeah. And we learned that she came from a poor family,
Hmm.
and part of the reason why she did become a saddle was because she was pretty enough that she could do it,
Yes.
and knowing that the king saddles typically are once they retire, they can just retire happy.
Hmm.
She is getting tired of not having a say really in her world.
Exactly.
Like
That
whenever she's
yeah,
having a bad day or whenever she's just not in the mood, she still has to.
perform.
I was gonna say suck it up, but yeah, yours is much better. But there is Oren and Rissa have a very similar story in that sense, but how both women handle it are completely different.
I agree. And Polly is just trash.
Holly is an addict and she is going through some stuff right now. Okay, so I still have not read the last book,
See, the
but I
same.
don't think Polly has ever apologized for anything.
I don't expect her to.
No.
So we're taking care of Polly because
I
she's having a hot flash. I swear, I jokingly told my husband I thought she was going through menopause because
her
she's got
moods are up
hot
and down.
flashes.
Yep,
She's
hot flashes.
moody.
Yep.
She's just snaps at everyone.
No
Seriously,
one can do
men
anything
no
right.
pause. But this is right after Polly is having a hot flash that Rissa called at the
Yeah,
beginning of the chapter. Rissa gets her snow so she can
calm
cool
down.
off.
Off.
She starts to fall asleep, and Rissa decides, after getting chewed out for being a
Existing.
human, that how dare she try and save her friend from being an addict and getting stuck in the fifth
Polly
kingdom.
accuses her of trying to kill. Polly accuses Rissa of trying to kill her,
Yeah, because
and
she's taking her away from the dew.
Rissa's just like,
You know what?
okay,
I'm gonna go take out our shitter. I'm sorry, that's not what they call it. It's a
chamber pot.
chamber pot.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go dump this because it's better than talking to you.
which
Which,
is
seriously,
yeah, that should be a sign.
that's like low. That is
Yeah.
hitting the ground
Yep.
there.
Yeah.
And of course she runs into Osric
Because he's always around. He's
as she's taking out the chamber pot.
is pulling what New Girl would call a Joe Biden, which is when you're just around. You're always there.
Okay.
Whenever someone looks up, you're there. You're not making moves, you're not being loud, you're not like being obnoxious, you're just there. And New Girl came out when Obama was president, Biden was VP, and he was very much a just there VP. So, yeah.
Okay.
So Osric is Bidening. Thank you. One of our 3 listeners will understand that reference and will appreciate it, and they better fucking comment. And you
Okay.
better leave that in here.
Okay. I still haven't seen New Girl, so
So many of my jokes. Now it makes sense why you don't laugh at like half my jokes.
it's fine. So Osric is really funny. He says, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "What does it look like I'm doing?"
She's exhausted. They've been traveling, and
For
yes,
weeks.
they're riding in a carriage, but like they're not stopping. They're not, it's a
And
grueling
she's with
pace.
Polly
Yep.
in
Yep.
no.
Yeah. I think I'd rather ride a horse outside of the carriage.
I would rather walk in the snow barefoot
Yep.
than ride in a carriage with Polly.
Yeah.
Or Mist, for that matter.
Yeah. Either one of them.
Osric is really great because he has one of his soldiers.
I don't want to say underlings, but like
He's a
someone,
soldier,
yeah, someone
and
under
he's a
his
super
command.
excited soldier because this is the one that's always doing stuff for Osric anyway.
Yeah.
Like, "Let me take your horse, let me do this." He's like, "Here, dump their chamber pot for them."
And he's
And he's
like
just so excited.
lights up and just runs away with it. And Rissa is mortified.
Yeah, but he was actually bringing her a sandwich. I'm sorry, Gabby says it's her runs.
Okay, we're pulling up the quote.
Alright.
I texted it to you. Okay. So Osric hands her a wrapped meal, and she peels it back, and it says, "When I peel back the bit of small cloth, I find a pocket of bread with meat stuffed inside."
So it's a meat pie,
It's a runza. That is the definition of a runza.
but it doesn't say what else is in it, and it's Keg cooking it, so do you really think he uses vegetables?
Well, they could have used root vegetables because those stay.
True, which would take it out of the runza category.
What are you talking about?
A runza stuffed with cabbage and ground beef.
Hold on.
Take your time.
A runza is a type of stuffed bread, specifically a yeast dough pocket filled with ground beef, onions, and cabbage. A pocket of meat.
A root vegetable is not cabbage.
But an onion would be a root vegetable. Okay, you know what? We're going to leave it to our listeners.
That's fine.
Yep, you're going to have to make this a survey question or
A
something.
poll question?
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's a fucking runza.
You know I'm the only one that answers those, by the way.
I'll answer this one.
Not while you're in Spain.
All
Anyway.
right. So yeah, Osric and Rissa are talking. Osric is putting on some moves in his very subtle, quiet way.
But yeah, Osric he's such a sweet guy.
He convinces Rissa to go back to to his tent.
To sit in front of the fire, yeah.
Yeah, to warm up. Well, she doesn't have to take care of the chamber pot anymore.
Yeah.
And he feeds her. And what else happens?
And they talk.
Is that what we're calling it?
And then after a while, she decides to kiss him.
Yes.
Which is a first for her.
Yeah. She specifically talks about how this is the first time she's done it for herself. There is no coin, no strings, nothing attached. And she did it because she wanted to know how it would feel.
Yeah.
She had a lot of curiosity about him.
And this is after, okay, so we talk about acts of service for him, but this is after he tells her a couple things. Like, it seems like you're working really hard to keep somebody near you that can't stand you. And
you
you're
have
pushing
this other
away
friend. Yeah.
someone else who is dying to be your friend.
Just wants to see you happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, once you're gone, you can always just stay in the fourth kingdom. Because he's asking her about what her plans are after they get to the fourth kingdom, and she's like, I just want to be somewhere where it doesn't snow.
Which, like, same, girl. Same.
And he points out that the only area that does snow is the northern part of the fourth kingdom.
The mountain pass.
And once they're out of that, it's fairly temperate. So he's like, you could stay. And she's like, why would I want to stay there? And he's like, I'll be there.
And so will
Oren. Although bold of him to assume that Oren's going to be staying there since he doesn't know anything that's going on.
He knows that Rip will not let Oren out of his sight again. And Rip is also not going to leave his kingdom.
True. Well, as far as we know.
Yeah.
Guys, we know he leaves it in the next book in gold because of all the stuff that happens to Oren. But yeah.
So anyway, after all of that, they make out.
They do. And then she says it's a mistake.
And he says, well, that was a damn good mistake. We should do that again sometime. And if a man ever said that to me, I would jump his bones so hard right then and there.
Well, and then she starts to run away and he's like, leaving so soon? And she's like, I'm hot.
I'm hot enough. And he just laughs.
I mean, yeah.
I think it's so...
It makes her blush, though, which is really probably hard to do for a saddle.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Like, I think this is the first time she's ever been thrown off kilter by a man in like a non-problematic setting. Right.
And I think she did that.
Yep. Yeah. One of my favorite lines that Rissa throws down in this chapter is, why is it that my life events have always seemed to revolve around the deaths of men?
That would be so sad to read.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought it went hard.
I mean, it's good, but at the same time, it's like, oh, but that's so sad that that's what prompts everything for you to change.
Well, so she became a saddle after her dad died.
Yes.
And left them with a bunch of debt and like no protection.
Sad.
Captain Fane and that whole fiat.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we could say that Midas was trauma. I don't think it was ever super traumatic for Polly and Rissa, but
no.
I'm sure there were other customers that, well, she talks about there were other customers that she kind of had to like learn how to work them so she could control them and not get hurt.
Exactly. So, and that's why she was so good at it with Fane, because we actually commented about that. How she was trying to guide him. Yeah. And he was just he
was not having
a pig.
Yeah.
Someone drank all my coffee.
That bitch.
Yeah. Also, did you see my new mug?
I love it. Who made it for you?
Wayward Gifts.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
me.
I guess that would be you,
Yeah,
but
yep.
it's really pretty and glittery.
And it's that red is about as close as I could get to our podcast colors.
That's red?
It's supposed to be like a maroony, reddy, purpley,
Oh, okay.
and black.
It's pretty.
Thank you.
Okay. It's empty though
Anyway,
now, so
yeah.
I've switched to water.
Boo.
Whatever. Anyway, that ends Rissa's chapter though.
Yes, it does. And then we go on back to Oren's POV.
Hey.
Okay,
Although this is
so
a good chapter.
it is because she's still trying.
And this is where she starts her training
Mm-hmm.
and she's working with Judd.
Yes. And this chapter it's a good reminder for all of us that healing isn't just X, Y, and Z. There's going to be peaks and valleys and ups and downs
Mhm.
and hidden things. And yeah, there's a lot of emotional stuff that Oren has to work through on
Yes.
top of physical rehabilitation.
Yeah. And they're honestly, because of the restrictions that Hojat has put on her,
Because he
because
wants her
she's
to heal.
healing, like, even though they're in an area called the Teeth,
Yes.
which is the training area
Mhm.
in the grotto. Slade tells her later that he picked this area, this spot for their house because there was plenty of area for the training, and then there was some cool down areas that we'll talk
Mhm.
about later. But in the Teeth are stalactites
Mhm.
that are going down from the ceiling
Yep.
that
And
have
then
a lot of the blue swirly thingies,
yep.
which is going on all over. And it's got places for fighting and wooden training tools,
Mhm.
like
Yeah, they've made
weapons
it
that are
into
made
like
out of
a
wood. It's a really
training
neat
ring.
training area. And right now she's just focusing on stance, right?
And
And
yep,
balance. And it's going really not well.
it is not going well at all. But I can't believe none of them thought about this on why she was struggling to balance either.
Well, I mean, one, Judd and them didn't really know her that well.
Okay, that's fair. I don't think Oren realized it at first either,
I
though.
don't think so. So Oren's having a lot of trouble balancing, and it turns out that the reason why is her ribbons used to help keep her balance,
Well,
and she was used to the weight of the
yeah, I
ribbons,
think that's exactly what it
and it's
was.
throwing her
Is
off.
yeah, because she can stand, but the minute she goes like shift or move or like do a different fighting stance, that's
Hmm.
when she gets off balance.
Hmm.
And Oren's frustrated.
Oren's frustrated, and Judd's just like, I
What the
don't
fuck?
understand what
Yeah,
is going on.
yeah.
And Slade comes in,
Mhm.
and it makes it so much harder for her
She
because
can't
now
focus.
Slade's watching
Yep.
and she's super embarrassed about it. And she realizes that it's the loss of her ribbons causing this imbalance, but she doesn't say anything.
No, but Slade does. Yep. And Judd he's not mad. He's not even hurt. He just wants to know why she didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Like why didn't you just say that that was your problem kind of thing, you know? He's
And
as a trainer, I need to know what's going on so we can adjust for that.
no, no, you never show anybody your weaknesses ever.
I mean, that's what Oren has been taught.
Yeah, it is.
So,
And the judge just like, you have to tell me.
yeah.
And this is hard for a lot of people, I think.
Oh yeah, I don't do it easily.
Uh, you've met me, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I definitely don't share,
We're working
like,
on it, folks. We're
ever.
working on it. We've only
No.
been friends for like 10 years, but we'll get there eventually. No. But yes, what Slade he doesn't even like call it out. He's just like, it makes sense. You've had your ribbons for 10 years. It makes sense that you would have to learn to adjust to be without them.
Mhm.
And that was, of course, because Raven Kennedy spelled it out. That was the light bulb moment for me to be like, oh, that's why she can't get her shit together.
I just thought she was crazy, but
But yeah, Judd is a great trainer because he's just like, I need to know what you're feeling so we can adjust for that. So we can start at the basics for you.
yeah. And he's so awesome. He even tells her he's the best trainer ever, and she's like,
Who
"Who
told you that?
told you that?" And he's like, "I'm sure someone has." Which I Judd's confidence, I just want to bottle it up and sell it to people.
Judd has the confidence of a white man.
Yeah.
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 That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I do kind of want to talk about some more about discussing the loss of her ribbons and like how that impacts
Yes.
her and the emotional trauma that she has to work through.
Okay.
because there is a line where she just says, "I let him make me into this, and I didn't even realize it until it was too late." And she's talking about how dependent she was on everything,
Yes.
right? And the minute that Midas cut off her ribbons, hacked off her ribbons,
Mhm.
that's the only phrase I can think of is a straw that broke the camel's back, but that feels like
That
a very poor phrase to talk
I
about
mean,
Oren's back with.
it's the I mean, it fits though.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
that was the catalyst, for
yes.
what's gonna happen now. Like, not that you need to go through trauma to grow, but it doesn't hurt. It does. But, okay, rescue me. Shut me up.
No, I'm enjoying
Let
this.
let me stop
This is
talking.
going great. She's had those ribbons for so long that without them, she feels like she's missing part of herself.
And
And
she
she really
is.
is.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, they knew what she needed without her saying anything
Mhm.
because, like we've said before, we think that those were part of her subconscious that
Yep.
controlled them.
Yep.
So, and the way they reacted to Slade, because
Mhm.
unlike Orin, Slade and the ribbons knew that they were fated mates.
Yep. Our girl's got
When
denial.
she needed a hug, they would wrap around her.
Mhm.
She needed help doing her hair, they
They
helped
would
braid her
help her.
hair.
Yep.
She needed protection or wanted to be free of a cage.
They were
They
there.
helped her rip the door down.
Yep.
They helped her with sail.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah. They were just there,
they were
always.
just there. And having them not be there, I mean, definitely are throwing off her balance because
Yes.
they had to be a little bit weighty.
Well, they had to be. Even if they were, let's say, for the sake of a story,
Yeah.
they were just satin ribbons. You have
Yeah.
24 of them and they trailed on the ground. That's
Yes.
going to
And
have some
sometimes
weight.
they moved. So your back was used to making adjustments for that.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I don't know.
And
Yeah.
just, yeah.
Judd in this book reminds me a lot of Cassian from Akatar. And I know how you feel about the inner circle, but
I like Cassian though.
he's the only real one. He is.
I like Cassian when he's helping the women from the library and Nesta
Mhm.
train.
Yes. You like trainer Cassian.
I do. And even Asriel,
Yeah.
same way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's who Judd reminded me of too.
Yep. Just a good
So,
trainer, a great warrior, but good at
yes.
reading people, respecting boundaries, and
Mhm.
knowing when to go back to the basics and how far back you had to go
Yes. And
without making anyone feel bad.
he takes her all the way back. He's like, let's sit on the ground now.
Yep. If you had told me this before, we would have started with your ass on the ground. Sit
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
Sit down. Let's figure it out from here.
Let's figure this shit out one step at a time, I think is like the actual quote. And that is a great trainer that can just be like, okay, this is where we're starting. And they don't make you feel bad about it. It's just, okay, this is our building block then.
And then we move to chapter 21.
Still in Oren's POV.
But this is Nightmare Orin,
We
and it's
do,
not good to
you
start.
can't blame her for having a
No.
nightmare though.
Oh, no, I don't. I just
Yeah.
mean that the chapter starts off not great for Orin.
Yeah. So we start this chapter with Oren in the midst of a nightmare.
Yes.
And of course, she's holding a sword, or a sword is being held to her that she gilded.
The golden dagger is being held at her throat.
Mhm.
We originally think it's going to be Folky holding her
It's
because
Midas.
that's where the dream is. And it's really Midas. So, and it's when he's gaslighting her about what she did, about how she did everything to herself.
This hurts me more than it hurts you. If you had only
Mhm.
listened to me, none of this would happen. What else did he say that was just a total gaslighting extravaganza?
Oh,
I know we blocked a lot of that out.
I really, yeah,
Yeah. But Oren is working through a lot of her trauma and her guilt
yes.
in this nightmare. There's broken mirrors that reflect fractured versions of herself.
Mhm.
She's got blood on her hands as she's digging through the broken glass. She's looking for her lost ribbons. Yeah.
It's got that, it replays that scene over and over again where Slade's like, Orin, use your ribbons. And Midas is like, oh, she didn't tell you?
She lost
She
that
lost that
privilege.
privilege?
I blocked out that line. I
If
the
I
first
can't have her, no one can.
Oh
Don't
my
disobey
god.
me anymore. You did this to yourself. That one is recurring over and over again.
I can see why Oren got stuck on that one. I got
Yeah.
stuck on the she lost that privilege.
Yeah.
Like me as a reader personally, that's what I got stuck on because her ribbons weren't a privilege, they were part of her.
Yeah, they were a part of her body.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like cutting off a finger,
And
it's not like cutting off your hair.
she's just trying to put them back on, and she picks them up and they're bleeding more and more and more. And
Mhm.
that's what finally wakes her up.
Yep. Yep. She awakes with a gasp.
Yeah, because the mirrors are cutting her.
Mhm. Yeah. So then she goes to the bathroom to like calm down. You know how you like when you wake up from a nightmare and you
You
just need to
gotta
get up and just
splash cold water in your face.
yep, and just remind yourself that you survived that.
Yes,
So she goes to the bathroom, the washroom, whatever they call it. Um,
it's a bathroom. Guys, we all know it's a bathroom.
yeah, yeah. She looks at her back, and there was two bits of ribbon left.
Yeah,
Picturing
I was
it
getting
lower
small.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah. And she barely touches them, and the last remnants of her ribbons fall
kind of
off
fall off.
like a dead leaf.
Yeah,
And that I don't know how I would recover from that. Like on one hand, obviously people can live without ribbons, obviously,
yeah,
right? But it would be the equivalent to like losing a limb. She
yes.
lost 24 limbs.
And that is the final that's it for her because it means she's definitely not gonna heal. They're not those ribbons are not gonna heal, they're not gonna grow back,
And I like the first
at
time I
least
read
as
this
far as
book,
she knows.
I also was team obviously they're going to grow back, right? Like the author is not going to get us attached to these ribbons and then rip them away. And so I cried with Oren the first time I read this book.
That's because 'cause you've never read George R. R. Martin.
Why would I read an unfinished series? Rebecca Yarros, Sarah J. Maas. But yeah, so she finally admits that those ribbons are not coming back. And
Yes.
that is
That's
hard.
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So she decides to just get up and it's
Time to start training.
time to go for a walk or something. And she leaves her room and goes toward the front of the house and sees somebody in the kitchen. She doesn't know who it is at first, but it's just kind of a movement in the kitchen.
Yep. And guess who's there?
Not Hojat, guys.
Not Hojat. But it is Digby. And Digby is also working through his own trauma. And I'm guessing Digby had his own nightmares about everything.
I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure he even had nightmares about Oren losing her ribbons because that happened right in
Right
front
in
of
front of
him.
him.
Yeah. And it's Oren goes through a lot of hard conversations in this book, which is why this book is so important. I understand why people struggle with this book because it is very slow compared to the others, but there's a lot of growth that happens in this one. Like you
This is the first time it took Digby this long to realize that it was Orin with the power,
Mhm.
which I think is kind of odd considering how long he watched her.
I think he knew it earlier. I think he just never
Voiced it?
accepted it.
Gotcha.
You know what like, I think he always kinda suspected it,
Yes.
but never yeah. But it is a conversation that both of them probably should have had a while ago,
Yeah.
but I think they were both still trying to physically recover too, and it's hard to
Mhm.
have emotional conversations when you're physically exhausted and beat to fuck.
Yeah. And why not have one in the middle of the night when everybody else is asleep? It's actually the
There's
most private time that they're gonna have at this house.
and there's something about staying up late and talking in the middle of the night where it just feels more
Private?
intimate?
Intimate?
Yeah, and I don't mean
Yeah.
intimate in like a
Sexual way? No.
they're gonna get it on, but, like, I don't know, it's like when you're dating someone new and you stay up late talking to them, and the later it goes on, the more secrets come out, you know?
Or when you've had a shit day
Mhm.
and you call your best friend and you're like, "I need chocolate milk and nachos." And you guys go to the nearest quick shop
Yep.
or whatever
Yeah.
whatever convenience store, and you get the shitty nachos,
Mhm.
and you get the Highland chocolate milk.
The shitty, like, concession stand, not real
Nachos,
cheese,
yes,
nachos, yeah.
exactly. And you sit outside on
Yeah.
your porch
Yep.
or back wherever, you
Wherever.
sit somewhere and you eat these shitty nachos and you drink the chocolate milk and you just talk about what's going
Whatever.
on.
And sometimes you don't even need to talk, sometimes it is just sitting there with
Sitting
each
there.
other and just knowing that someone else is there.
Yeah, but that's the kind of conversation we're talking about here, guys,
Yep, that deep, deep
which
I'm never gonna tell anyone else conversation.
they definitely needed it, and I
Yes.
love Digby is taking a lot of responsibility and has a lot of guilt for letting what happened to Orin happen.
Which is it's 100% not his fault.
No, and she tries to tell him, she's like, "Well, you probably think I was kinda silly
Yeah.
knowing that I had the power and I let him do this." And he's like, "Well, sometimes that's not something that you can control
Mhm.
or
Yeah. Digby recognized that, and
even
Digby has a lot of
powerful people can be powerless."
exactly. And Digby has a lot of guilt for, 1, letting Orin stay in the cage as long as she did.
Yes.
He struggles a lot with that. It is so easy after a traumatic event to go back and be like, "Oh, if I had just done X, Y, and
This, and
Z,
this.
yeah, it would have been completely different." And it's hindsight is 2020. Yeah. Digby cries, and I think it's so good that he cried.
Yeah.
I think he needed it, and crying doesn't make you weak.
I like that he admitted to her because she said something about him being a guard for a really long time,
Mhm.
and he was like,
Mhm.
"Well, I could have retired years ago.
But
I
I stayed
stayed
for
for
you.
you
Yeah.
because you needed someone to protect you."
You needed someone at your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he tells her, when he talked to her about he should have just gotten her out of the cage and helped her escape, and she was like, "Dig, you would have died and I would have had to gild your head
Yeah, that wouldn't have
in that."
worked. Yeah. Yeah.
I do I did not know until I was reading this book the first time that the reason that Oren didn't go with Midas originally
Right,
was
because Midas went out in two sprints, I guess is what I'll call
yes,
it. Yeah, like, he went out with fake Orin first,
yes,
and then the Saddles and real Orin went out after
second,
he settled into 5th, yeah.
and made sure it was safe
Mhm.
because that's what Digby convinced him to do.
Well,
Because he
Digby
was
knew that
originally gonna take Oren with him, and he knew.
Digby knew that Orin needed some time away from Midas,
Mhm.
especially after what happened with King Folk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that she takes a spin on that because he has a lot of guilt for not letting her go the first time.
Mhm.
And she's like, "But if you'd have done that, I never would have gotten kidnapped by the Red Raids. I never would have met
Slade. I never
Slade.
would have, like,
None of this would have ever happened.
I never
We
would
would
have
have
the
never
courage to
gotten away from
leave.
Midas."
Yeah, yeah, and so it's a good way to remember that shitty things can happen,
Yeah.
but it's how you survive them that kinda defines you as a person.
Yes.
I love how they end the oh, I'm sorry, I was ready to end the chapter,
I
but
no, I was too, but I was gonna say,
okay.
I love their toast at the end of the chapter.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Twinsies.
Yeah.
And Digby finally agrees to do the
A
card
drinking
game,
game.
a drinking game with Orin. Yes, and they cheer, and Digby says, "No longer live the fucking king." And I love
Yes.
that because
It
fuck
was the
Midas.
best.
Yeah,
And
yes, but
then
yeah.
nope, I was gonna go on to the next chapter, but you were gonna say something. Go ahead.
Well, I don't remember what I was gonna say, so it's clearly super important. It's okay. Do you think that her ribbons are truly gone forever? I don't remember. I feel like they come
So
back
if
in
you want me to, I
Anwin.
will spoil and say they are not gone forever, but they are not the same unless they
Okay.
change in Goldfinch.
I feel like they come back in Anwin.
They do come back in
Okay.
Anwin. When she appears in Anwin in the field of flowers that she accidentally guilt,
Crashes into.
her ribbons are back, but they are inert.
That's right. That
Yeah.
yep, I remember that now. And how do you think that Digby's loyalty compares to Slade's loyalty at this point?
Digby's loyalty is a lot. He's had so much longer with Oren, and this just cements that she's going to have that protector forever, no matter what. Because
Yeah.
I know that they're fated mates. We know that they're fated mates, but men are fickle. And in books like this, sometimes, miscommunications happen, and all of a sudden, just because we're fated mates,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Looking at
I'm
you,
leaving.
Tori and Darius.
You know,
Yeah.
stuff happens. And Digby is someone who is going to be there no matter what,
Well, they're 2 different
except in
men.
Anwin because,
Right.
he's not there. But
They're 2 different men.
they are
Digby
2 different men.
is the older father figure,
Yes.
and he's steady in that way. Like,
Yes.
he's not gonna he is the rock against which the waves break against, or whatever that saying from Silver Flames is. And Slade has to, I don't wanna say juggle his loyalties, but Slade has a whole kingdom to worry about
He
on top
does.
of Orin.
And all of the people in Drollard
Mhm.
Village,
Yeah,
which, yes, is part of his kingdom, but not part of his kingdom, and we'll find out more about that in
in
this
this
book
book.
too.
Yep. But anyway, are we ready to talk about Queen M?
Yeah.
What a bitch. I love her.
I like that we're starting this chapter out 10, 11 years ago
Yes. So this is
because
another nightmare
it's a
inducing chapter.
flashback. And it is, yeah, it is. It's her
It's another
dream.
nightmare. Yep.
She's having her dream about when she first met Midas.
Mm-hmm.
And they're having high tea. I just imagine them sitting with this little teapot filled with some kind of fucking foo-foo tea and these little finger things like
The little
cucumber
finger
sandwiches
sandwiches. Yep.
and little mini petit fours and stuff like that. And I'm like, that just doesn't, I mean, it's totally Midas.
It's totally Queen Anne
It
for
is.
sure.
It is. And it's just, I mean, I'm sure that high tea is fun. It's just this chapter makes it seem kind of blah.
Well, okay, so Queen Melina hates her ladies in waiting. So there's that.
And she's Princess Melina at this point.
That is true. She is Princess Melina.
Yeah.
She hates her ladies in waiting. She does not trust her court. She
Mm-mm.
does not trust people.
She has no one,
Yeah,
basically.
she is alone. So
Eh,
Orin has this amazing support system with Digby, with Slade, with
yeah.
Judd, with Lou. Queen M's got no one.
And we see from the get-go that she has no one because she's having this romantic high tea,
Well, they
that
had
is
to be
air quote,
chaperoned.
with the chaperones, 3 of her
Ladies in
ladies
waiting
in
or
waiting
whatever. Yeah.
who are embroidering by the
By the
fire, and she
fire.
just wants to rip the stuff out of their hands and throw it in the fire, which was kinda funny. But she, she's sitting there thinking as he's talking to her and wooing her about how, he was nobody until just recently.
Which is not a false statement.
It is not a false statement, and that he's saying all the right things, and this must be what love is, and she's had other men offer to marry her because he's asking her at one point to marry her in this, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Well,
He
he
tells her she's
asks.
beautiful, and she's like, "I know," which is absolutely, uh, a princess thing to do, especially when
That's
they know they're beautiful.
that's Melina coded if I've ever heard it.
Yeah.
So he asks her like, "Would you like me to take your hand in marriage?" or something to that effect. Like he presents it as a choice that she has,
What
which
would make you
she
happy?
yes, something like would it make you happy to be married? Something like that.
Mhm.
And she's never been given a choice. And
No.
she even says like, "Well, it's my father's decision." And Midas, being the sleazy sleazeball, sleaze man, sleazy person that he is, says, I want your opinion. I'm not going to force you into a marriage where you won't be happy. Spoiler
That
alert, he does. But until then, he tricks her.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and he even offers to gild something for her.
Mm-hmm.
There is a comment about her being cold in this too.
Yep. Yep. And her hands are cold. He grabs her
Yeah.
hand and he says, Your hands are cold. And she says, They always are. This kingdom is cold and so is its princess.
Yeah.
But this mirrors Orin and Midas's relationship too. Both women were seduced by Midas's
Mhm.
charm and promises, and they were both led to believe that they had choices and power and autonomy in the relationship, and they did not.
No. And I think that this start of their relationship, Melina probably thought that she was in love with him because she didn't know what actual love was.
She didn't know any better. She was a
She had
child.
no idea.
Yeah.
Like, she knew from books.
Mm-hmm.
We know that she didn't go to the theater a lot because she didn't see the point because of all the acting that happened in her own life. But
Yeah.
it's just, this made me sad for Melina,
Yes, I
the back
agree.
of it. I don't feel bad for Melina being the bitch that she is because she is who she is. But this background of it just made me sad because she really just absolutely had no one
It's kind
that
of
she
like,
could
okay,
trust.
so I listen to a lot of murder podcasts,
Oh
right?
no.
So it's kind of like when they say you can be sad for the child, but mad at the murderer, right?
Yes.
Like someone can have a shitty childhood, but that does not give them the excuse to go out and murder 100 people
I
or
wish she'd have told
even
me that
one person.
before.
I know. I know. I also that was a shock to me too. But
Yeah,
that is the parallel that I drew is like we can feel sad for young Melina, but she chose to become the cold bitch
she
that
did.
she is.
And it makes her, so then she wakes up from this dream
Mhm.
and she's cold.
Memory, dream, memory, whatever you wanna
Memory.
call it.
Yeah. And she's cold because she's in a cart
Well, and they're in Sixth Kingdom.
and they're still in Sixth Kingdom. And they're not in the southern part of Sixth Kingdom, they're in the northern part.
Yep, they're going to 7th.
The map for this is weird because when you look at the map, Sixth Kingdom is down on the southern side. I know you don't look at the maps. But when you look at the map, Sixth Kingdom is on the southern side, but I think that the map is backwards. I think it should be flipped. So I
Hold
think
on.
it's actually the northern side.
So we have Second Kingdom up here.
Yeah.
Third Kingdom's kind of right where my mic is.
Yeah.
Fourth Kingdom's a little bit further this way.
Uh-huh.
And then fifth and then sixth.
Yeah. So it's the
And then
southernmost kingdom.
first.
And I think that the map should be flipped, personally, because I think that the Sixth Kingdom should be up in the northern part.
Well, is that just because in our world we assume north is cold?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it has Seventh Kingdom like way down here.
Way down in the bottom. Guys, we
Hmm.
can put a map in Instagram/Facebook for you so you can see
Yeah.
it too.
It's also in the books. You can also
It's in the
Google it.
books.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway,
Moving on.
she's woken up. She's laying in a cart
Because she refuses to sleep with the horses, even though they would offer more warmth.
because they stink.
They do stink.
And
And yeah, she's tired of traveling. She's tired of constantly being on the move.
yes, and she's talking to Pruin because that's who she's riding with.
That's all that's left.
That's it for her.
Well, because her saddle got killed,
Her saddle got
the
killed.
other guards got killed.
Yes. And she does not know where they're going. Well, she does, but doesn't. She says something about wanting to get out of the Sixth Kingdom or where
Mhm.
they were. And he's like, don't worry, we'll be out of the Sixth Kingdom soon.
By this afternoon or something.
Yeah.
Like it
And
was
she
gonna
kind
be
of stares at him like, what?
already. How are we that far already?
And he's like,
Well,
what? The
that
map
map
showed me
showed
a
me a
shortcut.
shortcut. Not sketchy at all.
And he looks all perfect. She's got to look rough at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
And he still looks perfect.
Which is
spoiler,
sus.
guys, come on. Nobody can look that good when they've been riding. Their water is frozen, so it's not like he can wash his face or
Yeah.
clean up or have a saddle
Mhm.
bath.
And if he's sleeping with the horses because they offer more warmth, he can't smell great.
So,
So yeah, we don't trust
yay.
Sir Purin.
We
Is the
don't
moral of
trust
that story.
Bruin.
Yeah.
And, we think that there's going to be a lot of recurring trauma from Midas
He
with both of the women.
Midas did a lot of
Actually,
work to his
with all
women.
of the women.
Mist, Polly, Rissa, Orin, Queen Anne.
Queen M. Kyla's just going to be cussing him out all the time because she didn't spend enough time with him to be traumatized. I don't know what word I was about to say before I said traumatized. It was not going to be good though.
All right, let's go on to chapter 23. Back
Yes.
to Orin's POV.
Yay. This
Let's
is when
see.
she's talking about she's been training for a whole week
Yes, and she sleeps during the day
and
and
wakes up at night.
they have
And
not let her cook again.
because they're brilliant. After dinner, she does stuff with everybody for a little while, like playing cards, watching Hojack create new tinctures. We all know is already terrifying. That he's going to try either on Digby or Orin. The storm was still going.
She's still training with Judd, and she's
She
trying
is
to
still training with Judd.
walk across the beam without falling or without looking at her feet.
And this is a beam that Riot and Slade brought in
Mhm.
just specifically for her so
Yep.
they could work on her balance. And I picture it. Yeah. I
Okay.
picture this beam being just like a
Like a
2 by
gymnast
4
beam.
on the
Yeah.
floor,
Yeah.
like for the toddler gymnasts that are
Yeah.
just starting out so that
Maybe
they're
it's
not
raised
hurting
a little
themselves.
bit. So like if they
Yeah,
fall, it's not the end of the world. Yeah.
exactly.
Because she does mention that her feet are sore trying to balance.
Yes.
And Slade gives her a piggyback ride.
He does. He gives her a piggyback ride. He's taking her somewhere. It's a surprise. And this is after Judd has forced her to go back and forth on the
Yep.
beam so many times.
10 times. But if she falls, stumbles, or trips, that time does not count.
Exactly. She even tells Judd she hates him in this chapter.
Well, he's a hard ass.
He's a slave driver.
Yep.
And he makes her do it with her eyes closed.
Mm-hmm. Because she keeps looking down. My favorite line in this chapter is Goldfinch, I'd follow you to the end of the world and tip right off the edge, all because of a crook of your finger.
Yes.
And he does.
That is true.
He says romantic things and follows up with them.
Yes. But before he says romantic things.
No, it's right after he says romantic things.
No, after she's done working out, Slade grabs her and takes her and carries her piggyback ride over to the, what are they called? Hot springs. The sulfur hot springs. I'm calling that out because he's walking her over there and she starts to smell a bad smell and she
Probably like
thinks that
rotten eggs.
Slade farted. And it cracked me up because she says something
She
about
tries to
that.
be polite. She's like, "Did you just?" And he says, "Did I just what?"
Yeah.
And then it goes on, "Great divine, it's strong. I have to suppress the urge to plug my nose.
Yes.
I clear my throat. I just can't help but notice that it smells badly. All of a sudden." And Slade cracks up.
Yes. It was fantastic.
Yes. But yeah, that's when we learned that they have other hot springs within the village. This one
Yes.
just happens to be private. And yeah, they go and they soak in a hot tub.
Well, he goes in, she puts her feet in
Yeah.
because she's not allowed in the hot tub yet because she's still healing. And Hojat has told her, well, he didn't tell her, but he told Slade,
Slade.
no. But Slade's like, we still have to take off all of our clothes because it's muggy as hell in here.
It is
And
because it's a hot spring and it's a
it's
cave.
gonna
Yeah.
soak your clothes. And she does not want to take off her shirt. She still has conflicted feelings about him seeing her back because I don't think she knows that he's already seen it.
Well, she knows because he was with her when Hojat was taking care of her back at one point.
Okay.
He held her hand.
Oh, when
I
Digby made her
Yeah,
go get herself cleaned up.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think she still like she knows how much Slade loved her ribbons, how much she loved her
Yes.
ribbons, and she just feels naked without them.
Yes. And she decides to leave it on her shirt, that is. She
Mhm.
takes off everything else, though. And this is after Slade has fully stripped. So she is actually enjoying the view because this is a not sexual
No,
encounter.
it's an intimate one, but it is
It's
not a
intimate, but
sexual
not
one.
sexual.
Yeah.
And she just is enjoying watching the way his body moves.
Mhm.
And she comments about how he's all hard sculpted muscles, how good his butt looks walking.
Yep. She does have a thing for his butt.
She really does. And I is it just a thing for all women to have a forearm
It's got
love?
okay, but
I
like, have you not seen like men roll up the?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand
Okay.
that, but come on.
It's hot.
Okay, fine.
Do
Fine.
you not?
I don't know. I guess I've never really paid attention.
I can send you some Dean Winchester videos that will change your mind.
I do like Dean, but she goes and she sticks her feet in and
And
she
they just
watches.
kinda talk.
Yeah, they do. They just kind of talk about stuff, and she really doesn't want to talk, and he really wants her to talk.
I think this is a classic example of 2 different communication styles, right?
Yes. Well,
Like
it kind of starts off light
mhm.
because she's noticing how his veins, the rot veins, are not as pronounced as normal. And he's explaining that he has expelled them.
Yeah,
And
they're more prominent the more power he has built up.
yes, and how he's learned to hold on to it for long periods of time before he actually has to expel it. And they talk about how that must be painful for him. And then he's like, "Hey, I learned how to control them. How about you?"
"What's
I
up with
mean,
you?"
she's like, "No, I'm not ready." And he's like, "No, we need to talk about it." And she actually hints to Karnith in this
She does.
chapter again.
Yep. The last time she lost control of her power before Midas was in Karnath, and she always swore that it would never happen again.
Mhm.
So she's got trauma on trauma on she is a trauma onion. She's got trauma layers.
I forgot that she was kind of a bitch in this chapter too.
She's got trauma layers. She is kind of a bitch.
Okay, but she's trying to avoid having to talk about this, and he's like, "Well, I would never force you to do anything." And she's like, "That's not strictly true, is it?"
Okay, so I was just listening to this on my way home from the liquor store to pick up
Uh-huh.
the wine for this episode, and the gasp I gasped when I heard this one. Like, because and she even goes on to be like, I don't hold it against him. I don't know why I said this. Like, if anything, I'm grateful that he rotted me.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, Oren,
Yeah, that was just
that was just bitchy.
yeah, when she says, "I don't remember you asking you to rot me," that was shitty.
That was a shitty,
That's
shitty, shitty move.
and it's why I say she's going through menopause because I know that I have been known to say things that I absolutely don't mean
Yes.
to the person I care about the most.
And it's always easiest to do it to the people you care about the most,
Yeah,
right? A, you spend the most amount of time with them, and B, you expect them to keep coming back.
and you know the buttons to push more with them than
Mhm.
anyone else.
Yeah.
So,
But it was a shitty move. on
Yeah.
Oren's part, and I
Yeah.
don't know if I can forgive her for that.
Yeah.
Um, and, like, okay, we've all been there. We've all, like, got backed into a corner, pushed into an uncomfortable spot, so we lashed
Yes.
out and said something that we maybe didn't necessarily mean.
Nope. But what he does is he's like, "Yep, you're right. I did. I absolutely did that. And I'd do it again if it meant keeping you safe." Is basically the gist of what he tells her.
Yeah,
Like, anytime you're gonna be in a situation like that, and it's either choosing between you dying and you living, I'll
I'm
absolutely do it again.
yeah, if as long as you
0.
survive, yeah, yeah. And again, she's not even mad that he did it. She's grateful that he did it, but it's
Yeah.
just
And then she actually does apologize to him. She's like, "I'm sorry. I didn't actually mean that. I'm grateful. I'm in your debt." And he's like, "You're Goldfinch, you are not indebted to anyone." And then he proceeds to give her the best fucking foot massage in the world. So masseuses are probably jealous of him
yeah, even
because
with his rot hands.
yeah, he just massages her feet, which are super sore from being on the beam.
Mhm.
And she talks about how he finds every aching part and helps me work through it, even when I don't want to. And that's how she ends the chapter.
She's not just talking about feet.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will say, like, I part of me always wants to have Omaha give me a foot rub, especially,
Nope.
like, after a show, but feet are gross, and I don't want him touching my feet.
I like pedicures,
I don't like pedicures.
but I call them torture devices. They're not really. I have this purple, it looks like a mace. So it's a ball that's got little spikes coming off of it
Well, I heard those are
and
really
it's
good for, like,
plastic,
massaging your feet, though.
but it's on like a piece that lets you roll them up and down.
Yeah.
And I can take it out and you just roll under your foot.
Mhm.
And it's good for plantar fasciitis,
I was just gonna
but it's
say,
also
yeah.
good. It does like an acupressure thing,
Acupuncture. Yeah.
and it's really makes your feet feel good.
I should look into those because after a show, just standing all day,
Yeah.
my feet just hurt. But anyway,
Anyway,
chapter 24.
we go to Slade.
Finally, a Slade POV.
I like this chapter because Slade and Riot get to talk together.
Yes, and they are
Yes. And the storm has finally broken. The blizzard
thank
is
God,
done. It only dropped 6 feet of snow around the village.
casual. No big deal.
Like, that's normal. But thankfully, the people in the village kept everything shoveled.
Mhm.
So the 6 feet of snow is not in the village.
Well, this is not
And
the first snowstorm that they have survived.
I'm sure
Yeah.
it's not. And they even go so far as to put sand on the ground
Mhm.
so it's not super slick or icy.
It's a
You
very
can walk
Nebraska move.
safely.
Yep.
And we see him walking through the village, past the houses and the pavilion, and then through like this little walkway and ends up with Riot. I'm guessing it's like a little jail cell
I think so.
area.
That's kinda what I've picked
Yeah,
up
that's
from
kind
it.
of what I picked up.
Yeah.
And Riot has caught Riot caught all of Midas's men. He
It was
brought
the
one to Slade.
surveyors, right? Like,
Yeah.
the people who went out to, like, go measure the new kingdom lines.
Yes.
Yeah, and he brought one to Slade, and Slade, there's not a lot that Slade wouldn't do to protect his village
No.
and the people he cares about.
And there's not a lot that Riot wouldn't do either because this is also
Yes.
his village.
Yep.
He even points out before you were the king, you had this village to take care of.
Mhm. And there's at least one very important person in this village
Yes.
that we have not been introduced to yet at this point.
Rude.
We'll get there.
What else do? They talk, they bicker. Riot tells him that there were 4 and he killed the other 3,
Mhm.
which made him feel better. And then Slade is interrogating. Does he interrogate before he sees Lou?
He interrogates the one that Riot left him out of the
Yes.
4. Yeah.
And Riot even asks about Oren, and I love Riot for all of this
Riot is
because he's
totally
like,
being a brother, and he's just
she
like,
needs to face shit.
yeah,
And Slade's like, she's adjusting. And Riot's like, no, no.
no, 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 no.
Say the word gold in front of her.
Yeah, see what
See what
happens.
happens.
Yeah, and it's such a little brother move, but it's
Mhm.
something that Slade needed to hear too.
It is.
Yeah, because we've talked about this a little bit, but this book, Slade, feels completely different than the previous. Slades that we've known.
And part of it's because he's dealing with his own
Guilt and
guilt.
trauma and yeah.
Part of it's because he's trying to help her work through hers, and he's trying, but he's not doing a very good job.
It's a lot to work through.
It
And
is.
this is uncharted territory for him.
Yeah, which is why he's treating her like one of those eggs that are really fancy and expensive.
I was gonna say like he's walking on eggshells or like she's made out of glass. Because
Okay.
I don't know the expensive eggs. I know what you're talking about. I could not tell you the name.
Yeah, he's treating her like she's a Fabergé egg, so
Because I
super
totally
delicate,
know what those
super
are.
fancy. And Riot's just like, "No, you need to we don't have time for this. You really need to get this done because 1, she needs to control her power, and 2, we all know you hate it here."
Yep. And Slade's like, I don't hate it here. This is fine. That's the look that Riot gives him.
I'm sure it is.
But yeah, like you said, it's
Yeah,
Slade has a kingdom to run. Riot's like, but even before you had that kingdom, you had this village. So
yeah.
yeah. Riot also points out that he has given up his whole identity to help Slade.
He really has too.
He truly has. And I don't think we give Riot enough credit, at least in the books that I've read, about what he's done for Slade.
I think we should though, because he's
He's given
pretty
up a lot.
amazing. He's given up
Yeah.
like
Yeah. His whole identity. And then Riot asks, have you even gone to visit her? And Slade is like, I've been busy.
Yeah.
Which
Don't
the
ask
first
questions you already know the answer to.
the first time reading through, I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Does Slade have another family here? Is Oren the other girl again? Like immediately my mind is like, that hussy. I know. What did you think the first time you read it?
Well, considering it was Riot asking, I was
Uh-huh.
fairly certain it wasn't a wife, but I didn't know if it was a sibling or their mom. But I assumed their mom was dead at this point.
Fair. That's a fair assumption. I don't know how you didn't think wife.
I didn't, because I didn't think Slade would be that way. We
Well,
didn't
okay.
want Slade to be like Midas intentionally.
We just came off of a Midas book.
Yeah.
So how are we not supposed to draw that conclusion?
I'm
Ugh.
sure Raven did that intentionally, so we would. But because, Raven Kennedy, we love you.
A good
Anyway.
Wow. I think it's really interesting that we can both read the same book and come to different conclusions. Yeah. And it's not good or bad. It's just different, right? Like
It's just a different perspective.
yeah, exactly.
Plus, I really wanted to believe the best in Slade, so I refused to think he had a wife.
How could you not?
I refused.
Like, were you not listening? All right. Okay, what else happened in this chapter?
A little bit of a flashback about control.
We learn a lot about how Slade was control was a big part of Slade's training. And that has translated to literally every aspect of Slade's life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not just control of his power, but control of situations and people and everything.
Yeah.
Not in a negative way. I don't know how to say it without being like, he's a controlling bastard. But
He's had to be, though.
yeah, but like Midas was a controlling bastard because he had to be. But the difference is my Slade doesn't manipulate people.
And he shares with people.
Yes.
Yes, he's controlling, but he shares the information. Midas kept everything to himself.
Yeah.
This is also the chapter where Lou shows up with the messenger hawk that's being exceptionally rude to her and will not let her have the message it's carrying.
Well, because the message is for Slade.
The message is for Slade. She's like, she won't let anyone get to the message, won't even trade for it. And Lou's even carrying jerky treats.
Yeah.
And the bird's like, bitch.
Nope, I'm not falling for this.
So the bird goes to Slade and he opens the letter and it's from Kyla.
And what does it say? It says, congrats on your winning. I hope to never see you again.
Yeah.
It does not.
Actually, they don't really say what is in it, but I'm sure it's a notification that they need to bring Oren and
For the
release
royal
her
conflicts.
and join them at the royal conflicts. So he calls it an intimidation tactic, and he says that Oren needs a breather.
Yep. And she needs time to get her feet under her, time to get accustomed to her new life. Yeah.
And he keeps talking about how, it's far enough away. They have time. It's under control.
It's not. Things are spiraling.
Yeah. And I like that Lou points out, you have every damn bird in Timberwing under your spell. And then the surveyor, aka spy, wakes up and he sends Lou away. Slade does. so that they can chat.
And chat they do.
Yes. He rots the bottom row of teeth so that they fall out of his mouth. That takes some serious fucking control, first off. And second off,
Terrifying.
ew. Ew, ew, ew.
Terrifying.
And dude wets himself.
Well, he just had the bottom half of his face rotted off.
Yeah. And then we go to another Slade chapter.
Yes, teenage Slade. Yes. Slade at 15. And this is a chapter for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is a chapter where we learn exactly how much control was a part of Slade's training.
Mm-hmm.
And his father is training him. His father and an actual trainer.
Yeah.
I don't remember the trainer's name, but
I don't think the trainer's in this chapter.
I don't think so either.
It's just his father, because his father is making him train near the village,
Which
which
the village is in the middle of a celebration of some sort, like a spring celebration.
some kind of solstice.
Yeah.
Should point out Slade is 15 in this chapter, which is 7 years after his power has come out. So his power came out at age 8 because of the trauma that his father was causing his mother.
Mhm.
And that was extremely early for a Fae. Most Faes don't get their power until they're around 15 years old, which is how old he is now. So he has been learning and training for 7 years to control his power. And his father believes in training with terror.
Yeah, that's a good way to
So
describe it. Yeah.
he has accidentally rotted villagers and brought them
Terrifying.
back, but no one in the village actually wants him around. They call him Rot, which has to be
Especially
heartbreaking.
for a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want his power to be destructive.
No.
So I do appreciate how his father was so big on the control of his power.
Yes.
I think it clearly needed to happen, especially like the more power you have, the more control you need.
Mm-hmm.
I do think there were different ways you could have done the training.
I agree. Causing him to accidentally rot somebody in the village and bring
Yep.
them back
Yeah.
when he was trying to make him only rot the ground in a block of the village
Hmm.
and fix it was kind of a big deal. So,
But his father, like, and I do kind of like this is so Slade had to stand in the middle of a field basically, and there were different circles of varying width drawn around him, and he
yeah.
had to control how far the rot went based on the circle. So
Yes.
like
So
third circle, fifth circle,
he
yeah,
couldn't leave the outside of the circle, and then he could only fill like half of the circle
or whatever it
or
was,
whatever dad
yeah,
wanted him to do.
yeah. Which I do that training makes sense to me. It gives you a visual and it kind of grounds you and like from like a horse trainer perspective, that is something that I would also
Mhm.
not rotting, but like circles is something that I would do.
Fair,
So
fair.
um but yeah, everything else is just and Slade struggles with his power because he has so much power and he's only 15. And what happens when you're 15?
Puberty.
Puberty. Yeah. So everything's harder,
Ha, 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 I see what you did there.
boys.
And he really just wanted to go to Solstice,
Mhm.
and it's kind of distracting him, and his dad gets mad at him and does some breakage,
Well, he is the
like a
breaker.
tree, the
His
ground
arm.
around him, his finger.
Mhm. Yeah.
So nothing major, right?
Nothing major.
And he fixes his finger, which just sounds terrible. I'm sorry.
It does.
This age 15 was so tough
We're not even to the toughest chapter yet at
for
age
him.
15.
No, it's not. But 15-year-old Slade does have a goal in mind. He's going to gain control, and then he's going to defeat his father and figure out a way to get his mom back to Anwin.
Yep. No, get his mom out of Anwin.
Get his mom out of Anwin. I knew what I meant to say. It just was wrong.
Yes, he wants to get his mom back to Oria.
Back to Oria.
He wants to protect his mom, and I think that's why he's the way he is with Orin. I think he
Yeah.
sees a lot of his mom's trauma in Orin's
Yeah.
trauma. Slade's father trained Slade the way that his grandfather taught him, the way that
Yes.
Slade's grandfather taught Slade's father. So it's generational. Not saying that that's okay, kind of more of an explanation as to why
Mhm.
he is who he is, right?
Yes. It
So,
was it, it was neat finding out that he could feel
mhm.
where his rotting was, even if it was like behind him, without looking at it.
That's part of the control. You gotta be attuned to your power.
This chapter was kind of sad.
This
Sorry, guys.
chapter was very sad.
It was a little rough, but it doesn't fully mirror how Oren was.
Not fully, but it's close.
It is close. So,
They were both trained with fear. They were both taught to kind of fear themselves.
I mean, we're using the term trained loosely with Oren because she
That
was
is
not,
fair. Yeah.
and he was definitely trained.
Military trained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing she learned how to control is light guild, full guild.
On or off is what she learned.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is this chapter kind of tells us what is driving Slade. Like it kind of gives us an insight as to what he is thinking about all the time, why he is who he is.
Yeah.
You ready for chapter 26?
I am ready for chapter 26. This is
This is another tough one.
another tough chapter. Oren's having a rough time with this one.
Yeah.
Or is about to.
Yep. Okay, so chapter 26, we're back in Oren's POV, and she is spiraling.
Yeah.
And struggling.
And he's going to take her and make her kind of accept what happened.
Well, this is the first time. So Slade wakes her up for the first time in the middle of the day. And Oren's like, well, I have time to go back to sleep then. And Slade's like, actually, I'd like you to get up now and you're training with me. And Oren's like, okay. Don't know how I feel about that. Yeah. And then they go back to the cave where she lost control of her gold.
Yeah. And she is not happy that he took her there at all. But, it's fine.
On the way there, I think a messenger hawk delivers another message.
Another one?
I think so.
Do you think they just keep sending them like Harry Potter?
until they get answered? Maybe.
Yeah.
They don't have certified mail, so he can't sign for it. So
Right?
But Slade lies to her about the letter, and Oren feels hurt that she's shut out. Slade's never shut her out before. But then they go to the cave and they start training. And Oren's gold isn't working.
I don't think she was ready for her gold to work, and that's why it wasn't working.
I agree. I think she was so afraid of losing control of her gold again that she didn't want to, quote unquote, activate it.
Yeah.
Slade does a good job of reframing her mindset to be like, well, let's think about this though. Like, look at this coat. You only gilded the inside of it, and it's still flexible. That's control. And like, no one's really ever just like acknowledged stuff like that with Oren before. Yeah.
And he talks to her about just gild this rock. And she takes off her glove and touches, and nothing. And this is where they finally have their conversation about what happened.
They finally have the big blowout, drag out fight that they needed to happen.
I don't even think it was a fight so much as
Oren had been holding this back for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd been repressing a bunch. And Slade is finally like, let's talk about it.
Yeah. And Oren finally breaks down and just asks, where were you?
Yeah.
Because remember, she had been drugged. Digby had been beat to fuck. Her ribbons were cut. And this whole time that she's going through that torture, she's thinking, Slade will come. Slade will rescue me.
Yeah.
He will be there. He promised he would be there. And I hesitate to say that he wasn't there. I mean, on one hand, he wasn't, right?
Yeah. But if he had come in and swooped in and saved her, let's be honest, she would have never killed Midas.
She never would have killed Midas.
Her Fey nature would have never snapped open, and she wouldn't have killed people, which is what's causing her to not be able to use her gold right now. She's too afraid of using her gold, so she herself is stopping it.
Unconsciously, but yeah.
Yeah, unconsciously. But, this is what causes the fight. He's like,
she's
ask
worried.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. And so they finally have this conversation that has been like lingering over their heads since she woke up.
Yeah, she finally says,
where were you?
Where were you? And that's the end of this chapter. Okay, goodbye, guys. Just kidding. We have one more chapter.
But that's the big moment from this chapter,
Yeah.
honestly. It's the "Where were you?" And it's Slade, that comment going into chapter 27, Slade's POV, that
Mhm.
question gutted Slade.
It did.
He, like, reading this chapter, you're like, he is devastated that he
Yeah.
could not have been there for her.
I mean, he hears the pain in her words just from asking, where were you?
Mhm. Yeah. And it's we get the sequence of events from his POV
Mhm.
of that night.
And then she gets to fill in the blanks that he had.
Mhm. And so, like, we can see every misstep that happened or every detour that happened with, like,
We can
Midas
see what a
pulling.
punk ass mm, my piece of shit Midas is,
Midas was a
because
punk ass bitch,
he
I'll say it.
he orchestrated this whole thing
Mhm.
so well.
Midas is a master manipulator.
He did such a good job with this.
Mhm.
Midas did, because, Oren's like, I thought you were going to come and save me, and where were you? You didn't.
Mhm.
And poor Slade is like, all of her life, everyone has failed her.
Yep.
Her parents failed her unintentionally, by the way, because they were
Sure.
murdered.
Yeah.
But the people that were supposed to protect her at that point failed her.
Failed. Yep.
They sold her into slavery. And then there was no one for her at all until Midas
Midas.
showed up
Yeah.
when she was 15, so 10 years later.
Yeah. Yep. And then when Oren tells Slade that Midas drugged her,
Oh,
I think that took another 10 years off of Slade's life.
I think it did.
Like, that shattered him.
Yeah.
And I I haven't asked Omaha this. I have asked him if he would still love me if I was a worm, and he would, but I have not asked him what he would do if someone drugged me against my will. So, you ask John, I'll ask Omaha. We'll get back. But I'm pretty sure that if Midas was still alive when Orin
Mhm.
laid out this fact, I think Slade
Mhm.
would have jumped on Argo, went back to Fourth Kingdom, and murdered
Oh,
Midas
yeah.
himself. Yeah.
But so let's go through the timeline. So from the point that Queen Kyla found Lou and Orin,
Yeah.
what happened is Queen Kyla got Orin. Lou went around trying to find Digby
Mhm.
because she assumed that everything was cool, because
Hunky dory.
she couldn't listen to anything, and she couldn't just hang around there because they knew she was there already.
Yep.
So she started to search for Digby, and then by the time she found Orin was already back in her room and asleep.
Well, Orin went and talked to Mist.
But Lou did not know any of
True.
this.
That is true. Yeah.
So Lou searched for Digby. Lou checked on Orin. Orin was in her room safe.
And
And then
asleep.
Orin
Yep.
went with Midas to go guild stuff. Lou came back to the camp, told Slade what happened. Slade said, get some sleep, and I'll send Judd to look for Digby.
Mhm.
So that happened. And then when Slade went into Ranhold with Lou later on, when he was supposed to meet Orin in the library, Lou went to go search for Digby. He got pulled into a fucking meeting.
Midas pulled him into so many, like, pointless, small, one-off meetings
Yes.
just to distract him, and so
Yes.
Riot was sent to go find Digby.
Well, Riot was missing.
Riot found Digby
Riot was missing.
because he
We're
was
going to
looking for
argue
Dig.
about this. No, they arrested Riot.
They did, and that's how he found Digby.
Yeah.
You're right. Alright, I apologize for my
So
face. I can't help it.
they couldn't find Riot. So Lou, instead of looking for Digby,
Was looking for
was
Riot.
looking for Riot.
So Midas had all of the wrath distracted between meetings
Yes.
and arresting people.
And people walking, trying to attack Fourth Kingdom's
Prince.
camp.
Yeah, yep.
Like they were trying to get into Fourth Kingdom's camp, which kept Osric and Judd busy at the camp.
Occupied. Yep.
So everything he just, and Slade's like, if I could have just done one thing different.
Mhm.
I made it to the library to see, I couldn't find you, and
I had assumed you just went back
I
to your
just
room
assumed you
or
went back to your
something.
room and you
Yeah.
would have left me a note, and I didn't find a note. And she was like, I never even made it to the library.
Yep. And then she tells him that Midas cut off her ribbons. I
Yeah.
don't think he knew, obviously he knew something tragic happened to her ribbons.
Mhm.
And he might have suspected what happened, but I don't think he knew for sure what happened,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
And she was like, I never made it to the library. And he says, I tried to go to your room. but there were too many guards.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't even sure if she was there when he tried to go to her room
Well, and
because
he had no reason to go to his room as the king,
as
right?
king, yeah, and he
Yeah.
didn't want to give it away. So he tries to get to her room. She's not even sure she was in her room at that point.
Well, no, because she's been drugged. So.
And during this time, he already knows that Midas has Riot because he told him
Mhm.
that he touched something that didn't belong to him. So Lou is searching for Riot, not Digby.
Yep. Well, I mean, Riot is going to take priority for the wrath.
And
He is.
Orin was a little confused because right before the ball finds Slade and says, signals to him to let him know she found him. And Orin's like, Digby? And he said, no, Riot. But Riot did see Digby being handed off to another set of guards when he was arrested. So he
Yep.
knew where Digby was.
Yep.
So Lou had to wait until the ball started to get Riot, who in turn grabbed Digby.
They knew Orin wasn't going to leave without Digby. I mean, and if Orin had woken up and Digby wasn't there, she would have ran back for him.
And her whole, she's trying to process all of the stuff that's going on for him and add it to her own timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And Slade's like, can you just tell me what happened to you? So then she's like, he drugged me.
And then they hacked at my ribbons one by one.
Yeah, he did take me to Digby. It's the only honest thing he's ever done.
Ever done. Yeah. And Slade loses control. This is one of the few times we see Slade actually lose control. And I don't mean like he like goes ballistic. I mean like his spikes start poking out of his skin.
Yes.
And like his magic starts leaking a little bit. Like
And he bleeds for the first time in
years.
Since he was 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah. And this is just a hard chapter.
Yeah.
For both of them.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you called this line out earlier, but one of my favorite quotes is, all of her damn life, people had let her down. And then the night she needed me the most, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
This chapter does spotlight Lou's loyalty. Lou is loyal.
Oh, yeah.
She's a friend that everyone needs. I know we've said that a lot in this podcast, but she really is.
And this chapter was so tough.
It was a tough one.
Because hearing her trauma and how just everything that was happening for Slade that he had absolutely no control over.
Well, he didn't know about.
He couldn't get away.
Yeah.
To check on her. And just the comedy of errors that was happening. That's what I'm trying to find.
If you were Orin and John was Slade and you were kidnapped and held against your will and drugged and John was not there to rescue you, would you ever forgive him?
I want to say yes.
Right. Like I obviously want to be like, I love him so much. I would totally understand and forgive him.
But not immediately.
I think that's a couples therapy thing that we would need to work through together. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But on that note.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to Corks and Cauldron.
Thanks, Raven.
We're going to go cry into our wine bottles now.
Yeah.
Be sure to follow us at Corks and Cauldron on all of your favorite socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Threads.
And if you enjoyed this episode and the trauma that we just gave you, please rate and review us, share us with your booksties, and tell the world. It is the best way to spread the word and help our podcast grow.
Yes. Tell your friends, share it on your Facebook, share episodes on your Facebook, on your Instagram. I don't know how Instagram works. I'm a boomer. I'm not, but
I'm so confused.
The boomer is a mentality, not an age.
Gotcha. And join our Patreon community today. You can join us at patreon.com/corksandcauldron and maybe even treat us to a bottle of wine.
Yes, we are a self-funded labor of love, and it is.
Oh, yeah.
It is a thing. Yep. Our episodes drop every Thursday. So next Thursday, we're diving into chapters 28 through 37.
This is a long book, guys.
It is a long book.
There are 60 plus chapters in this book.
Well, I have it pulled up here. There is 65 chapters and an epilogue. 715 pages.
Yes.
So we are trying to group them in enough chapters to keep everyone entertained.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll have 7 episodes of just this book. So.
But until next week, eat,
drink,
and get lost in a good book.
Cheers.
Cheers.